Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this video, I am going to take and show you around Greenwich. Greenwich is a very nice, well-to-do, expensive area in the kind of the east side of London. This was in one of the hottest days of the summer. It's really hot. So here I am, me and my friend. We have just got out of the Cutty Sark DLR station, and our first port of call coming out of the station is to show you the Cutty Sark. This is a very famous clipper, so let me give you the information of the Cutty Sark according to Wikipedia. That will probably best explain what the Cutty Sark is all about. Cutty Sark is a British clipper ship built on the River Leven, Dumbarton, Scotland in 1869 for the Jock Willis shipping line. She was one of the last tea clippers to be built and one of the fastest. At the end of a long period of design development for this type of vessel, which ended as steamships took over their routes, she was named after the short shirt of the fictional witch in Robert Burns' poem Tam O'Shanter, first published in 1791. After the big improvement in the fuel efficiency of steamships in 1866, the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 gave them a shorter route to China. So Cutty Sark spent only a few years on the tea trade before turning to the trade in wool from Australia, where she held the record time to Britain for 10 years. Continuing improvements in steam technology early in the 1880s meant that steamships also came to dominate the longer sailing route to Australia, and the ship was sold to the Portuguese company Ferreira and Co. in 1895 and renamed Ferreira. She continued as a cargo ship until purchased in 1922 by retired sea captain Wilfred Doman, who used her as a training ship operating from Falmouth, Cornwall. After his death, Cutty Sark was transferred to the Thames Nautical Training College, Greenwich, in 1938, where she became an auxiliary cadet training ship alongside the HMS Worcester. By 1954, she had ceased to be useful as a cadet ship and was transferred to permanent dry dock at Greenwich, London, for public display. Cutty Sark is listed by National Historic Ships as part of the National Historic Fleet, the nautical equivalent of a Grade 1 listed building. She is one of only 3 remaining intact composite construction, wooden hull on an iron frame, ships from the 19th century. The others being the clipper City of Adelaide, now in Port Adelaide, South Australia, and the warship HMS Gannet in Chatham. The beach skeleton of Ambassador of 1869, lying near Punta Arenas, Chile, is the only other significant remnant of this construction method. The ship has been damaged by fire twice in recent years, first on 21st May 2007 while undergoing conservation. She was restored and was reopened to the public on 25th April 2012. Funders for the Cutty Sark conservation project include the Heritage Lottery Fund, the House of Commons Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Committee, Sammy Offer Foundation, Greenwich Council, Greater London Authority, the Stavros Natchos Foundation, Berry Brothers and Rudd, Michael Edwards and Alistair Usmanov. On 19 October 2014, she was damaged in a smaller fire. Cutty Sark Whiskey derived its name from the ship. An image of the clipper appears on the label, and the maker formerly sponsored the Cutty Sark Tall Ships Race. The ship also inspired the name of the Saunders Row Cutty Sark flying boat. Cutty Sark is part of Royal Museums Greenwich, which includes the Royal Observatory, National Maritime Museum and the Queen's House. And it costs £20 to go in and see it for an adult, or £10 per child. We are finished with the Cutty Sark now, and we are moving on, walking across to the other side of Greenwich to go to our next destination, which is the Fan Museum. just 10
So,
Yeah.
big ship.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah, that one looks quite nice as well.
Greenwich Market is
Okay. Greenwich Market, Cutty Sark.
But I mean, I'm still on fish. So
Oh, really? Oh,
the friend that's not really served me today.
gosh, yes. How is it? Is it anything?
Oh, another bakery.
Oh, that's a market. Another market
okay.
down here. Not a market, this is another one. This is more antique and clothing, yes. Right through there. King William Wood.
Maybe we should get a bit of space.
See what it says. Romney Street, Romney Road. Maybe cross over the other side. Okay. Looks good.
It's also a nice brick building.
Yes, oh yeah, they have lots of nice building here. This was a home of the British Navy in the old days. So, Greenwich, University of Greenwich. So they got lots of old naval looking sort of building.
This one should be our street, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Nevada, yes.
Yes, let's cross over. Oh, that's a part there.
Yeah,
Oh, very nice. Down here then. Okay.
and is this also a kind of posh area?
Where is street? Street says.
There it is. The family.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So this is it. Yeah, that's a nice looking building too.
Yeah. Race.
Yes. We have arrived at the fan museum. It doesn't look like a museum from the outside, but yes, inside is a very beautiful fan museum. It's actually two buildings. The owner, the lady who owned this fan collection, it's a private fan collection. She bought two houses, knocked it together to form one big house, and turned it into her fan museum. Because this is a private fan collection, it costs £5 entrance fee to go and see it. So a very good, reasonable price. Concession was £3.50 because my friend got some kind of a card, museum card, and that gave her a bit of a concession. So she pays £3.50. It's a nice little place for a nice wander around looking at these beautiful fans. See this portrait picture here of this couple? Well, the lady in the picture is the one who collects these fans. This is her museum. She actually lived in one of the room at the back of the house, of this house here. Luckily, I get to meet her a bit later on. She came out and gave a very nice talk, a history of the fans. But she's the one that collects these fans, and this museum is hers. Whereas her husband is also a collector, but he collects coins. And she told me a lot of his his collection of coins and everything, he left it to the British Museum and is now exhibits in the British Museum. So the pair of them are passionate collectors of different things. She collects fans and he collects coins. Very interesting couple. And she was telling me about the history of the fans, especially the folding fans. They came from China. So this art of making fans and these beautiful folding fans came over from China via Portugal, because the Portuguese in those days were all over the world trading and collecting things and stuff. So they learnt the art of fan making from China, and they actually imported all the things to make the fans. They imported from China via the Portuguese, and that's how the art of fan and the fashion of fan spread all over Europe and became really popular at one time. See that room straight ahead there? That's her room there. She's coming out now. And then she gave me a very nice, long, interesting history about the fans. Unfortunately, I didn't record her conversation. And here is a fan. See this picture here of Queen Elizabeth I. In the picture, Queen Elizabeth I was holding a fan that looks exactly like the one outside in the cabinet. So yes, the history of the fans went back a long, long way. It at one time was considered as expensive as jewelry. It was treated like an accessory, a jewelry kind of thing. Very expensive and sought after at the time. And it was fashionable for both men and women to hold fans, especially at parties. Everyone was going around holding a fan and showing it off and make sure other people were seeing what kind of fan you were holding and how much it cost, kind of thing. Literally, it was like a diamond. You go around flapping about the fan, showing off how beautiful and how expensive your fan is. The Fan Museum, which opened in 1991, is the world's first museum dedicated to the preservation and display of hand fans. It is located within two Grade II listed houses that were built in 1721, within the Greenwich World Heritage Site on Coombs Hill in South East London, England. Along with the museum, there is an orangery decorated with murals, a Japanese-style garden with a fan-shaped parterre, a pond, and a stream. And here is the orangery, which is a tea room at the back of the house. Unfortunately, that day we were there, as you can see, it's closed. No serving, no tea. I was really looking forward to it. Actually, that's one of the main reasons for coming to the Fan Museum on this day, was that we can go and have a nice English afternoon tea in this beautiful orangery. But no one was there. It was closed, not in service. That was a real disappointment, because that was supposed to be one of the highlights of the day, which didn't happen. So we ended up with no tea at all day. Just walk around in the hot baking sun.
So many different ones. I usually buy so many of them. I sew a lot of them off now, but I usually buy them just. No, I didn't see the one. No. Yeah, go and ask them. Where is it?
We have finished with the fan museum. We are now heading out towards Greenwich Park, which is just down the road. Very handy. Greenwich Park is beautiful, and inside it has lots of interesting things, such as the Royal Observatory, the Queen's House, and the National Maritime Museum. So the National Maritime Museum contains everything to do with maritime. Britain used to be a naval power, so there's lots of things to do with sailing and the sea and all that kind of thing. In fact, there's the Naval College is still here in Greenwich, if it's still working. Well, that's where the Naval College used to be. I'm not too sure if it's still a proper college or not, but it's there. The Queen's House contains lots of beautiful paintings of famous people from the past, including Queen Elizabeth I, and they're both still free. So the Queen's House painting gallery, the art gallery, is still free. The Maritime Museum is still free as well. But the Royal Observatory, around about 10-15 years ago, they started charging. It used to be free, but they start charging, and I think now it costs about £20 to go in. So if you're around in London, you better go and see all these freebie museums that is still available, because once they start charging, it's going to be very expensive. We're now inside Greenwich Park, and just ahead of us there is the National Maritime Museum and the Queen's House. All along this section is the museum and the Queen's House, where the art gallery and paintings are located. But we are going to head over to the Royal Observatory first, and I'll do a separate video for the museums and the Queen's House galleries in a separate video.
This must be the lawn where they... Oh, right.
People coming over there, not all in the observatory.
Oh, wow. Well, they must have come out from there, so maybe we miss a big crowd.
Some buses of school.
Yes, yeah.
The bus is next to the British Museum where all the children are loaded and then go to their museum visit. They are completely back in the bus.
It's a whole school. No? Really?
Lots of children I saw were all Italian or Spanish.
Oh.
Maybe they don't have their summer holidays yet. So
Yeah.
there were ones going around now.
Usually there's a lot of French as well, because my French friend, she's a teacher, and every summer she takes school parties.
Every
To the UK. Yeah.
Immer Jahr, oder?
She already went to Nottingham in May with a group of students already in May. But Yeah, sometimes come to London, but usually they go to other cities, Nottingham, Brighton, Manchester or whatever. But yeah, every year she comes with a school party. Oh, it's another bit, look at that.
I was about to drink. Oh, it's not bad actually. It looks nice. I was about to get two of them, but I'm like, I'll get.
So here we are. You have to struggle up this very steep hill to get up to the Royal Observatory. And as mentioned previously, the observatory used to be free, but it is now costing £20 if you want to go in and see it. I've already been in seen it luckily when it was free, so I gave it a miss this time. My friend went in though. She luckily got a museum card which allowed her free access, so she went in to have a look. But she didn't last very long because she said it was so crowded. There's so many school groups. It just groups, wave upon wave of students. So she didn't get to see very much because there were just people everywhere, so crowded. Didn't get to see much, but luckily it was free, so she didn't lose too much. Here is information on the Royal Observatory according to Wikipedia. The Royal Observatory, Greenwich, ROG, known as the Old Royal Observatory from 1957 to 1998, is an observatory situated on a hill in Greenwich Park in southeast London, overlooking the River Thames to the north. It played a major role in the history of astronomy and navigation, and because the prime meridian passed through it, it gave its name to Greenwich Mean Time, the precursor to today's Coordinated Universal Time, UTC. The ROG has the IAU Observatory Code of 000, the first in the list. ROG, the National Maritime Museum, the Queen's House, and the clipper ship Cutty Sark are collectively designated Royal Museums, Greenwich. The observatory was commissioned in 1675 by King Charles II, with the foundation stone being laid on 10th August. The old hilltop site of Greenwich Castle was chosen by Sir Christopher Wren, a former Savilian professor of astronomy, as Greenwich Park was a royal estate. No new land needed to be bought. At that time, the king also created the position of Astronomer Royal to serve as the director of the observatory and to apply himself with the most exact care and diligence to the rectifying of the tables of the motions of the heavens and the places of the fixed stars, so as to find out the so much desired longitude of places for the perfecting of the art of navigation. He appointed John Flamsteed as the first Astronomer Royal. The building was completed in the summer of 1667. The building was often called the Flamsteed's House, in reference to its first occupant. The scientific work of the observatory was relocated elsewhere in stages in the first half of the 20th century, and the Greenwich site is now maintained almost exclusively as a museum, although the AMAT telescope became operational for astronomical research in 2018.
Millennium Dome looks a bit too big for me.
Yeah, it's a bit too big, I think. It costs a fortune to keep up. And after the Millennium celebration, nobody wants it. So they was going to pull it down, but it Yes. Yes. Ooh. Oh yes. Oh, I love that one. See that one there? It's gorgeous, but no, I can't afford it. £110. Oh no. I must get it. You want to continue walk down there? See what else is there? Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
It's later. This is a new coin that's come out.
You go right now, Bill.
Yep, that's me. No, no, no.
I'll give you another coin dealer. Yeah, okay, this one's fairly small. That's it. I think
Yeah, maybe.
have to work very hard to get a big house to display everything. But she loves it. Yeah, let's go have a look. Oh, it's like, I've got the job now, I can do what I like.
Well, along with rain. Looks a bit as if it had seen that.
Oh, yes.
We are coming to the end of this video. I think we have walked everywhere in Greenwich on this very hot day, one of the hottest days of the summer. Walked everywhere, a bit disappointed we didn't get to have our tea at the Orangery because it was closed, but otherwise it was a good day. I think we've seen everything we wanted to see, or everything there is to see in Greenwich, I think. We have been to the market, the Cutty Sark, the park, Greenwich Park, the observatory. There's the Queen's House, the gallery, and the museums. I'll do that in a separate video, the museums and the gallery. But otherwise, we're coming to the end of this video now. It's been a hot and tiring day. We are now heading towards the Cutty Sark DLR to take the train home. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.